Happy Sunday, everybody, and let's just jump straight into it because I think that last night NXT Deadline delivered. I thought they did a good job. I only guessed one wrong, so pat myself on the back for getting some things right. Not happen very often in the world, but the Iron Survivor matches, even they really delivered in my opinion. So you know that's what we wanted from them. That's what they needed to do, and they had good matches, around it. And that's all you can, like, a whole night where even if you weren't a fan of the wrestlers themselves and the gimmicks and whatever they do, like, we still got to see, good storytelling and matches, through the night, which again, you even look at whether it's NXT, Raw, SmackDown, any of the AEW stuff, like normally they can't get a whole night to not piss you off at some point. So kudos to them for that. But jumping right in, women's Iron Survivor match, I thought was a great way to start the night. I thought it was the proper way. We seem to be having a lot of, whether it's war games or anything, they start and they delivered. It was really cool. There's a lot of us trying to figure out, the rules and everything going into it. And brand new match type. So, obviously we're gonna be sitting there just wondering what it's gonna look like in execution and all of that. And I thought it was a good, I thought they did a good job. I thought they delivered on it, and it was simpler, I guess is the phrase. Then everyone, and a lot of us, there we go. A lot of people seem to think, they thought it was just going to be weird with the penalty box and all kinds of stuff like it. And I thought it was good. And we got to see Roxanne Perez defeat Zoe Stark, Cora Jade, Indy Hartwell, and Kiana James. And I still don't know why the hell she was in the match, but a whole other story. Thought everyone else made sense. She sure as hell didn't, but who am I? But I'm glad that I was right. Again, like I said, going in, I broke it all down. We had by person on the pre-show. If you didn't, watch it or listen, if you didn't, go listen to it. You can see what I had to say about it. But I'm curious to see now what Cora's going to do. Looking, going forward, the way she was staring at, Roxanne there from, when she was in the ring, Roxanne was out. Yeah, after she got the win, because I don't know what they're gonna, what they can do with her. I, don't see it. I just don't see how some of these people aren't somehow involved in the match that she's just our number one contender for. I just don't see them not being involved. Some of them, at least, because I don't know what else they could do. This core is included, so I don't know how that's going to work out. I am, intrigued because that leaves Cora, Zoe, them rudderless. I'm just saying, as of right now, what are they? Because they've been building towards that. What are they going to get into? So we'll see what happens with there. And again, Zoe, she's not there yet. No offense to her, but she's got the ability in her to wrestle. I'm never going to take that away from her. I don't think she's there character wise yet. I don't think she's there, with the people yet, because most people I see just don't care. It's not like, like they always say, some kind of reaction is still good, whether they're cheering for you, booing you out of the building. But a lot of people I see, through the social medias and internet and all that, a lot of people just don't know how to feel about her and the character, and they feel nothing. And, that's not good. So her going in and getting the title shot, like no one would care, I'd say. And that's not against her. Again, she just, switched to a heel. I mean, she was there. She got hurt. She came back. Yeah, they had her switch. Like, she's just back into it. So it's going to take time. I think she can get people to care. I just didn't think this was the appropriate time to pull the trigger because I just didn't think they had it. And here we are. So see how it works out for her. I mean, there's so much talent on the roster. She could just keep dropping people until she gets back, to be able to get a title shot, which isn't that hard to do. And she can keep working on talking and getting, fans invested in her, because without that, nothing matters. So gotta see how that goes. Indy, I think they've been doing a lot better job with her lately. I think we should all be able to agree with that. They just need to keep building that. I thought it would have been too soon. As they just started the momentum to throw her right in there. But she did a good job in the match. And I think they're doing, really, really good, which is why I thought Roxanne was the right choice, because she had it. Then, she's gone through her stuff with Cora and done other things. and the momentum's still there. The crowd's still there to get her to go towards another match with Mandy. And again, that could be, the one that sends Mandy bye bye. Who knows? Who knows if it's just going to be her against Mandy? But that was the right thing to do, to have her win. It was a good match. They delivered. They started the show out properly. A lot of people, everyone I saw was happy. The only thing I saw people complain about was the penalty box and getting rid of it. Which I thought it worked. But again, everyone's thought process is different. So who am I to say anything on that? But I do have to end it with I don't understand why Kiana James is in the match. It just didn't make sense to me for her to be there. She was the only one that I believe that didn't even have one single point at the end of it all. She really didn't do anything for the longest time there towards the end. And it just didn't feel right the whole entire time. I mean, who else could you put in there? I mean, you could find someone. Could have had Nikita Lyons. Could have had a lot of people. There's not a lot, but Fallon Henley, let Ivy Nile actually go out there on TV and wrestle and stuff, and have her in there because Kiana, I mean, she's doing the thing with Fallon. She's doing a good job. It's just, I just didn't understand the point in that, because when she got, it was like, either they're going to freak us all out and she's going to win it, or she's not even going to be a factor. And it was the latter of the two. She wasn't a factor. So see what they do with her on Tuesday going forward with, all of that. I don't think, it was the right call to have her in there again. Who else could they have? But they could have figured something out. They had to have someone in there. So I guess they used someone that had TV time, but didn't dig it. That part of it. Otherwise, good. Isla Dawn defeated Alba Fire. We all knew she was going to win her first, premium life event, her first big match in the States. I thought they put together a good match. Was it like fantastic? No, but did they tell a decent story? Yes. The ending, again, at least it was different. Like I said, I never got to see any of her stuff in NXT UK just because of the timing of it. And then I just never had time after the fact of it being done. So that's the problem with having so many shows. I only have so many eyes and hours to watch things. But I dug it. Again, it was a good, go-to to have her and Alba go at it, familiarity and all that. But really good. I'm intrigued by the character to at least see what it keeps going. I did see one guy on Twitter said she kind of looks like Jessica on True Blood. And yeah, there's definitely some vibes there. So I will definitely give you that. And it was a different ending. And I just want to see, it was a good match. It was a safe match. And it was the only match that wasn't a title match or number one contenders match or anything like that. It was the one just there. Here it is match, which, to be the only one on the show coming off of, the women's Iron Survivor match, I say they, delivered what they had to do, because there wasn't a big, ugh. So congratulations to them. And again, this one isn't over. We know it's not over, but it was a good, first premium live event and a first, match for her with the win and in NXT. And again, when you're the only one that doesn't have title implications or a title on the line, I mean, that shows they have faith in you, and they delivered. New Day defeated Pretty Deadly to become your new NXT Tag Team Champions. I was wrong. If you listened to yesterday, if you're going to go back, what I said, I didn't see a snowflake's chance in hell having the New Day do it, unless there was some Pretty Deadly packet or anything. But I was wrong. It was a great match, though, as we expected. Because again, no matter how much shit I talk about Pretty Deadly, and I know I do. It's never you never hear me say anything about the wrestling that's bad. The gimmick just hurts my head. So many yes boys hurts my head. The fact that Gordon Ramsay used to talk shit, if you go back and watch the original F Word, about boys from Essex and the Essex boys and how that, well, apparently he wasn't lying. Apparently there's some strange cats, but just like that thing, if you're watching this, it just turns itself off whenever it feels like it. The thing, it's only a year old, right? Glad it breaks that easy. But they're great wrestlers. They can wrestle. They pull off their gimmick very well. They are 100% in, which is what you want. So I'm, not butchering them by saying I don't like it. not going to like everything. I give them much credit for their in-ring ability, respect, props, whatever you want to call it, for what they can do and how dedicated and how in that gimmick that they are. You have to be very in to pull off any gimmick, especially that one. So I'm not, trying to talk trash when I say I don't like them. I don't like the gimmick. All those yes boys hurts my brain. And I say that again, I'm not taking anything away from them. So don't let people get mad. But they put together, a hell of a match again. I didn't see. I didn't think that they were going to pull the trigger on a New Day pulling it off. I really didn't. But kudos to them. Now they're, Triple Crown. Now they've held all of them. I mean, WWE, Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I mean, no matter what you want to call them, like they've held, them all now, and that's pretty cool. I did think what Booker saying they're the best. Yeah, that Pretty Deadly was the greatest tag team in NXT history. I mean, I guess he forgets that, our dear friends, the Usos, are up there right now and all the stuff they're doing. Again, he's just doing his thing, but I did notice that one. Great match though. It was the one that I got wrong. It was one of two. Like I, I just honestly didn't see them, doing it. So I'm going down there like a bunch of others have a really good match, and then move on with their lives. Go back to the main roster. Do I want to see this continue and them stay down there? Yeah, because I think them in the tag division, working with the young tag teams, would be something that it would help so much experience wise and lessons and stuff that those young guys could learn, for matches and chemistry and all that to put together to make it work when they get to the main roster at some point. So I really hope, that in a way that they do stay down there, because what else is there for them to do on the main roster except get mauled by the Viking Raiders and everything else? Like they got Hit Row, the Viking Raiders, Street Profits, Usos, Legato. I mean, there's a lot of them up there. So them being down there, I'm sure it's not going to be a long-term thing, but it could be a really good experience. Again, at least have a couple title defenses against a bunch of people before Pretty Deadly comes back and wrecks them. That'd be really good. If you don't think so, comment, let me know. But I think that'd be a really, really awesome, idea to have them down there. Again, Malik Blade, Ederson Nofe, like there's guys down there, Briggs and Jensen. There's people that could really use them down there. So hopefully they do. It's not just they lose them on Tuesday and it's all done. I hope they get to work with people, because it's, you can't replace the lessons that they could get from all of that. So there was the congratulations to them. My jaw was on the floor. And then Hannah looked at me and was like, "But I have to see that. Why? Because I wasn't looking, but your face looks just like theirs." Like, yes, I'm glad I'm not the only one. They got us all. But congratulations to the New Day. I don't see Pretty Deadly being done, but I see it being a very good thing for the tag division if they keep them down there for more than 10 minutes, just on principle alone. Men's Iron Survivor match. Sadly, everyone, Grayson Waller won the match by defeating Axiom, Carmelo Hayes, JD McDonough, and Joe Gacy. And again, they did another great job. They put together a good match. Not a fan of Waller winning, but we know he's not beating Braun, which kind of is a problem, because I just don't see him being the one. Wins he's had, momentum, like crowd, like I just don't see him being that guy. But again, I already went over it all earlier. I'm going to go over some now. Yeah, with everyone else in the match, Axiom had his moments, but we all knew he wasn't going to win. Super talented. That's just not his spot. All right, he's not there. I think Carmelo Hayes, again, still doing that. I don't see an NXT champion. No offense to him. Like that North American, that looks good on him. I just can't imagine him being that guy. I don't see it. Not at this point, at least. So, I didn't see him winning at all, and he didn't. JD McDonough, so many chances recently. I didn't think he had a chance going in. I said it very clearly, and he didn't end up winning. And Hannah did agree, though, when she saw like shoulders up of him, that she thought it was a midget before they panned out and saw his whole body. But he's very good at what he does. I'm not taking anything away from that. Just how many straight months. It's like when Bailey won that match. The triple threat to now face Alexa on Raw to be number one contender for the Raw Women's Championship. Please God, no. How many times do we have to see Bailey and Bianca? It was 4 straight months. That's pretty much where I'm at with JD. Send them to do something else. We didn't need to see him and Braun go at it again. I wouldn't have watched. There's only so many times you could see the thing, in a row. And it wasn't a good thing. Just like Joe Gacy, I like the progression now. They're the evil side. They got the Rock's daughter in there, like the schisms building up. They're doing all that. He's not there to be in that picture yet. And he already had all those title matches earlier this year. So just going right back to it. I didn't think that would be an appropriate move either. So thank God, they didn't. Maybe one day, he'll be back to that level, but it definitely isn't today. And I didn't think he was going to win. And as you hear me say all that, I mean, I pretty much talked everyone else out of winning besides Grayson Waller. So, just in my opinion, it'll be a good match. I don't doubt that. That just means we have to hear him more, and it's going to be more obnoxious. And I mean, granted, he's really good at that's his character. I just don't think that and the ring skills and all that have met yet. I don't think they're doing this yet. They're not there yet. And one day I'm sure they'll actually catch up, but I don't think he has a snowflake's chance against Braun. We'll see if it's at Vengeance Day again. It's going to be in Charlotte. Everyone knows what state I live in. I'm going to have to try to go come hell or high water. I would really love maybe start a thing. If everyone wants to comment, tell me if they would put try to get a bunch of money as together as we can. I'm going to get my own, but then buy a bunch of seats in the same row right there and donate them to VetTix. So it could be a whole row of veterans and their families there. That'd be cool. Got to see how it all works out. Don't see it happening, but maybe that'll be the match I get to see in the main event. I don't know. I do hate the ending though of everyone chasing Waller. Like there are that many people at 2 and he had 3. Why chase him? You could just knock someone else out, pin them, get up to 3, sudden death. I thought that was kind of dumb. Just saying, you can get yourself up, just pin someone else instead of chasing him for that long and looking ridiculous. Then the main event we all knew was going to be the main event, but Bron Breakker defeated Apollo Crews again. I said I didn't think it was the time. It was great to see Apollo in that spot, and they put together a great match. I just didn't think that it was the right time for Braun to lose. So he didn't. And now we get to see him and Waller, but it was still great to see, which I don't, by the way, before I don't see Waller having a snowflake's chance to beat him. Let me go and say that again in case you can't hear me in the back. But it was good to see Apollo in the spot and all this time to build character and be able to do all of that because he didn't, for forever. I think Vince did him dirty the first time he was in NXT and called him right up. And then he really wasn't used until that whole, again, Nigerian royalty thing, the accent. And no one really liked that either, just poorly done. So good to see him get to do it. I didn't think he was going to beat him. He didn't, but it was good, for him to finally. I don't think he's done down there. I think him working, like, where's he going to go in the main roster? I think him staying down there and working with those kids is, the best move for him. So we'll see what they do with that. Because again, he can wrestle. He's very talented. And I think him still, staying there to work on his character is what would be the best for him. Everyone can think different on that. I just think that would be the best for him. And now we're just going to move on to Braun and Waller. And I'm not looking forward to it, to say the least. But they could build. They could build it to make it so we want to. And I'm going to watch it just to see. I don't think he has a snowflake's chance in hell. And him winning was better again than JD again or Gacy again. There's a lot of agains. So there is that positive that, he won. It's just not, he's not my favorite. He hurts my brain, people. I can't help it. Couldn't change it. Couldn't rearrange it. So there it was. Technically, you can. Let's see if he can do that. It's a great gift, be able to turn a fan around. He just hurts my head and makes my skin crawl in the worst way. Not in a positive way, like good heel work. Like there's something about him. don't know. But overall, good night victory for WWE NXT as a whole with that thing. Again, congratulations to the New Day Triple Crown champs. I honestly didn't see that one coming at all. So hopefully they stick around. It's not just some short thing, so they can work with a lot of people. We'll see on Tuesday night, I suppose. And again, let me know what you think about all that. I think them staying down there is, a good move for everyone, just for the experience and the lessons they could teach people. The TV behind me, if you're watching, just said it's time to go again. So thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget, follow on YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, all of that. And until we meet again, my friends, enjoy yourself. Share this out. Peace.